What we do here is go back.
Hey guys, good to catch up again. Today, as you can probably tell by the title of the video, I have been nominated by Ant Rogerson from the Germans Brewery to come up with a list of my 5 best or favourite beers that I've brewed over the years. So if you check out Ant's channel, I'll put a link below. Ant did the same thing a few days ago, and he nominated a few guys, including myself. So yeah, it's my turn round, and then at the end of the video I'm going to nominate some people as well. But before we launch into the list, we need a beer, so I thought I'd double this up as a beer review as well. So today I'm going to be trying this beer here. It's the Mosaic Pale Ale, clocking in at 5% from Sean at MEGAtun Brewing. So thank you very much for the Sean. I was around Sean's place when he brewed this up. Didn't stay for the whole brew day, but I know this is the beer he brewed while I was there, so I'm really keen to try it. So thank you, Sean. So we'll pour it up. Haven't had many Mosaic only single hop beers, apart from commercial ones. So yeah, very keen to try this. This has come off the keg, so I can get every last drop of this 500ml, and I knew it was going to fit into this glass. So first off, how fantastic does that look in the glass? Now I don't know much about the beer other than it's a Mosaic Pale Ale and hops sort of throughout with Mosaic, and probably including a dry hop. But that's crystal clear. That's just condensation on the outside. Beautiful colour. What do you call that? A burnt orange. Some nice bubbles streaming up. That looks fantastic, Sean. Nice little cap on the top. So what we'll do is we'll launch into my 5 favourite beers, and then we'll sort of get into Sean's beer along the way. Okay, so yeah, there was heaps of beers to choose from, and I really struggled to narrow it down, but I sort of ended up picking a beer from different styles, so I didn't want to pick sort of, you know, several beers from the same style. So going back sort of 3 years now, the Columbus Brown Ale is probably one of the first all-grain beers that sort of stuck with me right through until today. For a number of reasons. Obviously it was delicious, and Columbus is a great hop in a beer. But this was a beer that was brewed up by Ant himself, and also Grant from Beer Lover TV in England. And that inspired me to brew it up here. And then in turn Rick Bish from America, he brewed it up himself, and then I think it's bounced back to the UK again. So it's become a bit of a global beer, sort of like the Zombie Dust. It's, you know, it's taken on a life of its own. So that's probably beer number 1 from the early days. So cheers, Sean. Just get a nose on you. Oh. As I was hoping from a Mosaic Pale Ale, I was going to get big hits of Mosaic off the top. Not a huge expert on Mosaic, and I've only used it once in my most recent beer, but there's definitely a distinct berry, I like it as distinct berry aroma from the hop, a dark sort of dark berry, you know, boysenberry, blackberry type thing happening, and definitely getting that in big hits off the top. So cheers, Sean. We'll knock into the next beer on the list, and then we'll dive in for a taste. So the next beer I chose was from my fresh hop beers. So I've done 3 fresh hop beers. Done Nelson Salvin twice, and I did Macho Acre not this year but the year before. And I've chosen the Macho Acre as my favourite of the fresh hop. So I had a base similar to the Supercharger, Ale, Toffee and Crystal, and then just hopped fresh right through with Macho Acre. And yeah, it just had a real nice fruity sort of tropical fruit aroma. Macho Acre is quite delicate, but yeah, there was definitely a nice freshness that you don't get maybe from the pallets. And yeah, that's my sort of fresh hop pick of the ones I've done so far. Cheers guys, cheers Sean, let's dive in. Oh, that is good. Once again, getting nice hits of the sort of, it's almost herbal, sort of dark berry flavour from the Mosaic, but it's really nice and juicy, Sean, on the tongue. Oh, that's cracker. That's going down an absolute treat. Yeah, fresh, juicy hop flavour, sort of backed up with a nice, I was going to say, not subtle malt flavour, but it's nicely balanced with the hops. Wow, that is going down a treat. Let's get on to the next one, then we'll come back to you, beer Sean. Okay, the next one I've chosen, I'm a huge fan of red IPAs, so I sort of went through and I decided that my red IPA that I probably liked the best was my Octane red IPA, which I brewed back in August last year. And that's one of the beers I think I sent to England as well, and to Dave from Cheshire Home Brew, and also to Christian Brew Beer. Yeah, so that had a combo of Shepherd's Delight, Ale Vienna, medium crystal. So it had a real nice solid malt backbone to it, or really nice sort of upfront malt flavour. But then that was paired with Amarillo, Centennial and Columbus. So yeah, it was a real nice sort of full package of hops and malt. And like I say, I'm a huge fan of the red IPA. In fact, I'll see if I can find the beer that inspired me to brew it. Yeah, here we go here. This bad boy here, the Johnny Octane Red IPA. So this is the beer that inspired me to brew the Octane Red IPA, and obviously that's where I got the name from, Octane. So yeah, if you ever see this beer around, don't know if they still make it. This came in at a solid 8% from Panhead. If you ever see it, definitely check it out. So yeah, that's beer number 3. Okay, crack on. We don't want this video to go too long. Beautiful, clean aroma as well, Sean. Yeah, just super clean. As you'd expect from Sean, he brews up fantastic beer. Nice solid malt backbone to it. So a little bit of sweetness coming through from the malt. Good up front sort of hit of bitterness on your tongue. Smooths away, it's sort of nice and super clean. Carbonation is really good. But yeah, the obviously, as the name suggests, the Mosaic hops are the star of the show. And you get those coming through in spades. That is, I could drink that all day, Sean. Fantastic. Okay, let's get on with beer number 4. Okay, so this is an APA, so I chose a pale ale or American pale ale beer in my top 5. And this is one I brewed up at the end of last year, and that's the Jungle Juice American Pale Ale. So this was inspired by the Ballast Point Grapefruit Sculpin clone, or Sculpin beer, so it was inspired by that. So it's, can't remember the malts exactly, but it's sort of crystal, toffee, a bit of wheat I think. But the hops are Amarillo, Cascade, Simcoe, Chinook, and then it had grapefruit zest added as well, just to get that sort of grapefruit flavour. It was a little bit off from the actual commercial style or version, and I did chuck a video up if you want to check that out. But as an APA on its own, I was really happy with it. It was nice and fresh, had some real nice in-your-face hop flavour, and that grapefruit came through. So yeah, that's my number 4 pick. And then finally, couldn't go past the top 5 without some sort of black IPA. Fortunately, I missed the stouts off. Black IPAs and red IPAs are probably 2 of my firm favourites, so I had to have a black IPA in here. And I was going to go with the Pot Kettle Black, but if you saw my most recent tasting video in the last week, I think I'm going to have to say that my Pothole Black IPA, based on the Gladfield's recipe, is my new sort of favourite black IPA to date. And what I think I loved about it, and I said in the video at the time, was that combo of roasted wheat and dark chocolate just gave it a real nice chocolatey, smooth roast flavour, without any sort of harsh astringency or no bitterness or harshness from any dark malts. It was just all smooth dark malt flavour. And also, of course, it had Mosaic in it as well, along with US Cascade. So, yeah, that's my top 5. No doubt I've missed off heaps of other really good beers, but that's what I narrowed it down to. Thank you very much for the beer, Sean. That no trouble at all going down. Like I say, I could sit on that all day. Fantastic. This will make a fantastic, bit cliche, summer barbecue sort of beer. Beautiful, especially at 5%. You know, it's got tons of flavour from the hops. It's got those nice malts coming through, good carbonation, good bitterness. But at 5%, you know, you could have a few of those and still be good to go. So, cheers, Sean. Now, I wanted to nominate some of the Kiwi YouTubers, and I thought it'd be a bit unfair if I just nominated a couple. So it's just going to be a general shout out to all the Kiwi YouTube guys and girls that are watching this. If you want to nominate your top 5 beers, yeah, come up with a list. If you want to do a video, that's great. If you don't, no worries at all. Until then, I'll leave you guys. I'll sit back and enjoy the rest of Sean's fantastic beer, and we'll catch you in the next video. Cheers, over and out.